Hi there, this is Simon Squire with Only SP, coming to you today with some Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Specifically, I'm playing the Freedom Cry DLC. The difference with the Freedom Cry DLC is instead of playing Edward Kenway on the Jackdaw, like you did in the main Assassin's Creed Black Flag story, instead we're playing as his first mate, Adewale. This is 15 years after his departure from the Jackdaw, and Adewale has since joined the Assassin's Brotherhood and has now found himself on his own mission to free the slaves from a local island cluster in the Caribbean. Now, you're going to notice there's a few things different. For one, this is a side mission in Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry, wherein instead of the merchant ships in the main storyline where you just attack one or two of them and then you get all the money off the ships, this one is a little bit more valuable cargo. This, you're trying to free slaves from a slaver ship, and it's usually under guard. Like, for example, there we just took down a man-of-war. Now I gotta take down some of the smaller ships in the escort, and as a result of this, we'll find that more free slaves means more people for Adewale's army to combat the slave trade in the Caribbean. And also, with more freed slaves, you get unlockables like ship's armor, weapon upgrades, and everything like that. In this particular case, Adewale has a different weapon set than Edward Kenway does. For those of you who have played Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, you'll remember that Edward Kenway preferred the weapon set being up to 4 flintlock pistols and 2 rapiers. For Adewale, his fighting style is a lot more brutal. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a mixture between Altair and Connor from Assassin's Creed 3. Now, for you Assassin's Creed 3 haters out there, don't worry, it's still Black Flag, it's still awesome, and the Navy combat is especially awesome. Now, Adewale's weapon set, because I sidetracked for a second there. Adewale has a pretty cool weapon set here. Unlike most assassins who prefer swords and guns and whatnot, Adewale, instead of pistols or very accurate long-range weapons, has a blunderbuss, which is terrible for long range, but can kill up to 4 guys in one shot. Unfortunately, you have to reload after every shot, so it can be a bit of a pain in the neck if you're surrounded. But, you know, proper strategy will get you through that, no problem. His other weapon of choice is, instead of a couple of rapiers or a longsword or anything like that, like the previous Assassin's Creed entries, instead, he has a machete. Now, the reason for the machete, if you read the description of it, it's actually because in the slave trade, it was common that they would use a machete to cut the sugarcane in the fields. And Adewale has now adapted this tool of his trade to use it against his former masters. And it's really cool, and he just gets really brutal with it. Now here we are, I've taken out the slaves' escorts, so now it's time to board the ship and take care of the traders themselves, so we can free our slaves. And that way, Adewale will have more friends for the cause. A little swoop in and double assassinate here. Okay, so 6 out of 15 crew are dead. Time to get the remaining 9. As you can see, the combat is still pretty intuitive. Not much has changed here. I will mention one gripe here, and that is that the AI here seems to have gone full retard. You can tell this because they're just skipping all over the place sometimes. I've noticed this a few times with Adewale's character as well, where I'd try to jump towards a cliffside, and then suddenly he'd be like, nope, and just jump in the other direction. But I'll get more in-depth with any issues I have with the game in my review, which will be posted up tonight. Keep in mind, though, it's probably going to be a pretty decent review, because even though it's short, it is DLC, and I quite thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun, the story is good, there's a lot of moments that just made me stop and think, and altogether, it's just really fun. And that's all the time I've got now, so be sure to check out onlysp.com for a review in a couple hours, and I'm Simon Squire, and have a Merry Christmas.